Well, hello, Stampers. It's the Pampered Stamper. How are you today? It's Tuesday today, and that means it's time for stories and stamps. And I have to say, I have a bit of a story for you today. I went and played hooky because the sun was shining today, and we have had so much rain in the Netherlands in the last little while that I decided to take advantage of it. So, right after lunch, I took the dog for a beach walk, and I was in such a hurry to get out there and enjoy the sunshine. I chose not to take my phone with. I thought, oh, I don't need my phone. Oh, every time I forget to take my phone or choose not to, I regret it. There were so many beautiful things that I wanted to share with you. There was a young woman on a black horse splashing through the water. She was just cantering on her horse, and beside her was her big black dog. And the dog and the horse were running together, and it was just such an idyllic scene. I would have loved to capture it for you. And then there were a few old men fishing, sea fishing, with these big long fishing poles. And I chatted with one of them, and I said, how's it going? In Dutch, of course. Hoe gaat het vandaag? Heb je veel geluk? And I said, how's it going today? Are you getting lucky? And he said, no, not a single bite. He said, there's too much food in the sea. They don't need the things on my line. And I looked and I saw all kinds of starfish and bigger shells than usual, and everything was just teeming with life. And I picked up a starfish, which I don't think I've ever picked up a living starfish. And all those little tentacles were going like this. And I thought, oh, I would have loved to capture that in a close up video for you, just the magic of it all. And so now I'm scrambling. It's 20 after 3, and I'm recording this video. So I don't have a card made. We are going to make a card together, and we're going to hope it turns out. And if not, well, at least we've had a fun play. The lesson is that sometimes you need to take those golden moments and not just work, work, work. It's the joy is in the little things, my friends, because mostly that's what we have is little things. So let's take a look, and you're going to see a few little sneak peeks. And my trick when I am creating is I get a little, I'm not a patient person, so I don't like creating the dies as I need them. So I took all the tree dies, and there's 6 of them, and then I cut them all out in 3 different colors. And now I have a whole pile of cutout trees. And I thought, good, I can make a forest and I don't have to keep cranking. They're all done. The cranking is done. And then I stamped the trees. I should actually show you the stamp set, shouldn't I? Let's have a look. The stamp set is called Forever Forest. And I wanted to combine the trees with the vintage Santa. I have a vintage Santa fussy cut. Take a look at them. That is from the Traditions of St. Nick paper. And there's a beautiful stamp set that goes with this, but like I said, I'm a lazy stamper, so I couldn't be bothered to color in the stamps. I just die cut the paper. So, someday I'll color. That's okay. You have permission to be a lazy stamper. That's totally okay. In fact, I encourage it because then you just have more fun, no stress. But you know what? You have to choose what's fun for you. We're all different, and that's okay. So I thought that I would combine some of the stamped images. So I used 3 colors. Okay, I'm not going to get too squirrely here. I used Old Olive, Garden Green, and Mossy Meadow. And then I stamped, die cut all the trees. There's lots of them. There's little ones, big ones, you name it. And I also stamped all the trees. There's 3 different ones. And I did those in 3 colors as well. So Mossy Meadow, goodness gracious, Garden Green. This one's Garden Green. Mossy Meadow and Old Olive. Okay? And then there's 2 mountain scenes. And I die cut them in Smoky Slate and in Misty Moonlight. Because when you see mountains in the distance, they often look like a little blue. So I don't know if I'm going to use those today, but I wanted to show them to you because they are beautiful. Then there are a few little rock die cuts, and there's a few cloud die cuts. And we'll see if we use them or not. I do want to use this little stamp. And I wanted to create a night scene. I don't know what it is about the St. Nick. Maybe he comes at night with his horse. And I just thought that would be fun. So we're going to move all the trees out of the way. Look, there's a die cut in between here yet too. Oh, look at this. You guys are going to laugh at me. Here's my card, and I think I had a whole card. Look. I do not have a whole card. So I don't know if I scored it wrong. It was just in my drawer. Let's have a look. Yep. I had scored in the wrong place, so look at this. The back of the card has an extra score line. So don't be too quick to throw things away, okay? Nobody's going to look at the back of your card to see if you made a double score line. And if they see that, they're going to think that's just the way it's meant to be, okay? So cardstock is precious. Don't waste it. I am channeling my mother. Okay, so I'm even too lazy to get out grid paper today. We're going to take our card base. So that one is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5.5, or it is 10.5 by 27.8, scored at 14.85, 29.7, whatever. It's close. You Europeans, you guys know. You don't need me. Okay, we need to find some misty moonlight and a blending brush. So I know my camera is fairly close to the card. I might have to change that for you guys because that's really not pleasant, is it? Now the key when you're using a blending brush, and you know what, I'm going to turn my paper sideways, and I have so much stuff on my desk, but you know what, it was worth it. That my walk on the beach was just such a delight. Made my heart sing. So tap, tap, tap on the ink pad, and then start off in little circles, and then wait, your blob, I'm still getting blobs. Oh, look at that. You know what, some days, let's hope the trees cover it. I have no idea. You know what, and we're just going to keep working it. Yeah, I'm not doing a good job today. I have no idea what I'm doing wrong. So you know what, sometimes I'm the expert, and sometimes I'm here to show you that sometimes it just doesn't go well. And that's okay. Here. We will just place our trees strategically and it's going to be all right. There. It's some special sort of cloud formation. Shall we go with that? There. It's okay. Now I'm going to start laying out my trees. Okay, I'm just going to lay them out for a minute. And I want to have different shades of green and different shapes of trees. Oh, that's the same one. There. Well, maybe I do want two of the same one. And then a skinny green one here. And I don't have, that one's going to go. Anyway, I kind of like to just throw them on, but here, and a little one, and a little one. Okay, I'm just laying them like so. I haven't decided on anything yet. And now I'm going to go with my stamped trees. And I don't have to use them all. And sometimes you can tuck them in a little bit. But you see how you can't see how bad my sky looks? And then see, first we play. See, and now that one's hiding all the way, so we're not going to waste that one. This one can go up a little bit. There. And see, this one's going to look taller than it really is. Here. That looks pretty cool. But I don't know if we need rocks down here. We don't want our tree stumps just sitting there. That doesn't work. And I'm not sure if our mountains will work as snowflakes. You know, they could. They could. Okay, I'm going to start doing something. I'm going to remove my Santa. And I'm going to remove this tree. And now I'm going to share with you a little glue trick, okay? For the glue trick, you need a silicone mat. You need a little bit of sponge. And I think you can get these at the dollar store. They're not as great as the ones Stampin' Up! Used to sell, but you know what? It's okay. We'll make do. We put a little bit of puddle on there. Now we're just going to slightly move our trees a bit. I'm just going to, it's kind of like writing a grocery list, you know? You often write a grocery list and then you forget it at home. And then you go to the store and you go, oh, I don't have my list. But because you wrote the list, you remember the things better. Just like I made the pile of trees, now I've shoved them off to the side, but I've made the pile and now it's kind of in my head. We're going to go with that. Okay, so flatten out your glue thing and then look, you just dab it on the back of your tree. And that way you won't have glue oozing everywhere. Okay. You could also use an adhesive sheet and put the cardstock on your adhesive sheet and then die cut, and then you have these giant die cut stickers. That works too. So remember, we're using 3 shades of green: Mossy Meadow, Old Olive, and Garden Green. It's amazing how far a little bit of glue will go. I'm going to put that like so. Kind of get an idea. The Santa's going to go here. We need another tree in behind. And then once your puddle is gone, then it's time to add some more. Okay, your fingers will get sticky. That's okay. Lean into the stick. There, and then we'll put a little tree in between. Another color, maybe the same color. Okay, another little bit of glue here. Sorry if I disappear out of the little picture box. There's a lot of things for me to keep track of. And that's not always my strong suit. There. Also, my sponge is getting a little bit small. When your sponge gets really gross, I always cut the hard part off, and then it's good for another while. So I'm the queen of making things last a long time. So now remember how I had this one tree sticking up above Santa? Well, he's not really Santa. He's Saint Nick. He's just different, right? There. Actually, it does look nice with just some sky behind him, too. Oh, Jackie, the decisions. Oh, well, you know what? I've decided the tree's going down. And do you see how I have it sticking out a little bit? We're just going to flip it over later and trim that off. And then you can see my extra score line again. Okay. There. Now Santa's going to come in. Keep calling the poor man Santa. And now we're going to bring in some more trees. Yeah. And the trees, these ones, we're going to pop them up with some dimensionals. I just had the pleasure of cracking into a new package of dimensionals. They are wonderful. Well, they don't work so well, though, when you've got sticky fingers. And when your fingers get sticky from liquid glue, if you just rub them together, then it will just roll off like dry skin, okay? Like you've had a sunburn. That's okay. There. And that should do. Our white cardstock is pretty sturdy, so you don't need oodles and oodles of dimensionals. But the dimensions just give a 3D effect to your scene, and it just will look nicer than if you don't use them. So I'm just going to put them near the bottom. We're going to solve our problem in a minute of these trees just sticking up like that. And then we have these guys in front. And they might stay flat. Let's have a look. Does he want to be in behind? No, that looks silly. And maybe we don't need these trees. Santa's going to get popped up too, and I am also going to another. You could also, the other tip I have for you is you don't have to use the tree in its entirety. You can just cut off a piece of the tree. So this big tree, I can just snip it. And look, I'm going to do that, right, like so. And then I could, see now I've cut this tree, we've got a fat little tree, and look, that covers up the, I kind of like that. My original idea was to tuck him in behind the Santa here. I keep calling him Santa. It's a Freudian slip. That looks good too, but I do like it sitting here. And we're going to do that with a few more trees. Here, like so. Oh yeah, that looks great. Okay. And you know what? I'm also going to just put adhesive on the bottom of the tree to kind of make it flip out a little bit. Look. So this kind of sticks up a little bit. I kind of like that. And this one, same thing. Oh yeah, that looks wonderful. I'm happy with that. And then I forgot to use this tiny little tree. Yeah, and you know what? For the tiny little tree, there's still a little bit of glue left on my here, you can just shove it right on there. Let's see if that worked. Yeah. So we have conquered the problem of our exposed tree trunks. I think it looks really nice. Now Santa is going to, St. Nick, and we're going to clean up this background mess because that's not easy on the eyes, is it? St. Nick is going to get a few dimensionals, and I'm keeping them right in the middle, like so. Now this St. Nick came from the paper, and this one is fussy cut, but the other two coordinate with dies. Okay, there we go. Oh, he has to move over a little bit. Do you see this? I'm going to show you that. Look, if I have it like that, that tree's kind of hanging there in midair. We don't like that. So we need to strategically put Santa. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cut this off if I can. Let's have a look. Oh, that probably wasn't very friendly. There. And now I'm also going to get rid of those right away. There. Clean that up. I shouldn't have let him lay there. And you know what? I need something else there. It's bugging me. There. I'm going to put that over top because I don't want that empty spot. And Santa Claus, he's going to be covering that bit up anyway. There we go. And now I see that his elbow is sticking out a little bit. Our envelopes usually have a little bit of wiggle room. Okay, so I think that's going to be okay. And now the last pièce de résistance is white craft ink, if I can find it. So our white craft ink comes in a bigger spot. This is an old one that came in a kit or a paper pumpkin or something, but you can get uninked stamping spots in our catalog, in the annual catalog. If we have time, I will show you. But I have this, and you can also get craft ink refills. Okay, so also super important. And what I want to do is take this one and here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at that. And I have to say, when it dries, you won't see it very much. It will be very subtle. You could also do this and emboss in white. There was another stamp in here. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, take a look. There is still this stamp. Now, I don't know if I want to ruin my beautiful sky. It's always a scary thing when you have it this far. I like to, if I'm doing this, and you know what? In real life, it doesn't look as blotchy as it does in this card. But sometimes it's nice to leave well enough alone. But I'm going to try, and it's going to be subtle. So I think it's going to be okay. There we go. So like I said, it looks a lot brighter now, but when white craft ink dries, it's not so... I'm going right over top of the moon. I have a feeling you're not even really going to be able to see the moon. So this is going to be a very gentle effect. And then I wasn't sure if I was just going to leave it like this. I have Joy and Peace stamped out, which I could put there. I also wanted to show you, I'm just going to leave this. I'm not sure. You guys can let me know. Do we put the Joy and Peace on or do we leave it? Does look quite nice though, doesn't it? I'm quite pleased. It's not bad. All right, last thing for the show and tell. Here is this is where Joy and Peace came from. And I want to show you the stars are shining brightly. And this is going to be maybe tomorrow for our Stamping Through Our Stash, because these dies are so beautiful. And I haven't used them yet. So, okay, embossing. So when you emboss, I just have a little scrap here. You start with your embossing buddy. This takes away all the fingerprints, all the static. You don't want your embossing powder sticking where it doesn't want to stick. Okay? You don't want speckles where you don't want speckles to be. So, here we go. Now we take the magic Versamark ink. And Versamark is a watermark stamp pad. It's sticky and it's clear. So the embossing powder will stick to that. Here we go. We'll put it upside down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we go above our tray, and we're going to do it in silver. We could do it in white as well, but maybe we should do it. No, I want to do it in silver. White would also be beautiful. If you guys do it in white, let me know. Now give it a good flick. The flick will get rid of the extra embossing powder. And then, now I have to get my embossing gun. Okay, so right now, take a look. It just is all powdery. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in, and I hope that you guys can see the magic of this. It takes a little while for the embossing gun to heat up, and then you'll see it start to change. So let's get started. Hold it in one place. Do not wave it around like you're drying your hair. And there it goes. Do you see the magic starting to happen? And now see? So you go from this powder to this beautiful, shiny silver, and it's just slightly raised. It's so exciting. And then you can leave it, you can cut it with a stitched thing, or you can just cut it, fussy cut it, and just kind of, as you cut, when you get to the little loopy part, turn your paper around. Oops. And that way you get a softer, well, I've got this really odd looking piece. But you get a softer curve as you turn your paper. Okay? And I'm not going to finish this because otherwise I'm not going to get this thing uploaded. But you can see how I'm going around. It helps to cut the other parts off too. But see how nice that is? Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to zoom back out. And I still haven't made up my mind about the card. Once I have, I will take a picture of the finished thing. Yeah, I definitely think if there's going to be a saying, it needs to be right around there or here. But I'm leaning towards no saying. Just put the saying in the inside. Okay? Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a super day, and I hope that I inspired you. And now Bailey's saying hello to a visitor. So I'm going to let you go. Bye.